Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny De Lillo. I'm delighted to be joined with Manuel with his fantastic movie, El Triste. Let's take a look at the clip. Manuel, I love your film. Can we just say that?
Thank you so much. That really means a lot.
Thank you. But for those in our audience that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Definitely. El Triste was born out of a collaboration with the best puppeteers in California. And it's a story that takes place on the backstage of a marionette show. And it follows El Triste, a low-budget marionette that is going through an existential crisis because he does not have any specific talents. We follow him in his journey of self-acceptance and discovery as he tries to prove to himself and to his fellow puppets that he's worthy of admiration and applause. It's a film that touches a little bit on the insecurities in the entertainment industry and the painful but liberating truth that we're never going to be good enough, and that's just beautiful.
Yeah, I'm like in love with the film. Like I love the characters so much. I was like, this was so special to watch. Like really, really. We're going to come into the puppeteers because I know you work with an incredible team with the puppeteers and I can't wait to talk about it. But tell us a little bit about where you decided to create this inspiration for the story and particularly working with puppets as well.
Definitely. I've always been passionate but at the same time overwhelmed about moving in between mediums or techniques of storytelling, mostly live action. But this was a first step towards a transition for me to discover other genres. I wanted to talk about a very diverse story with people, characters that have very unique ways of looking, very unique ways of acting, very unique personalities and traits. And what a better way to do that than with extremely unique individual marionettes, you know? So for me, it was that was the first step, but at the same time, it was trying to understand that to explore this craft, I really needed to find the right collaborators for that, you know? And collaborating with these amazing artists that just really made everything better for me, you know? It made my job easy in a way because I was focusing on the creative side and they were literally just bringing in the magic of what they can really do. But the one rule that I had that was overwhelming at the beginning was we're not going to hide the puppeteers.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it was a big challenge because we were not really sure how it was going to look, if it was going to be distracting. But the whole idea of projecting the real humans behind the puppets was kind of like a meta idea for us to be able to have them also project their own talents because they are constantly evolving in their craft and for them to be concerned about, oh, is this puppet great? Is it the best puppet that I've done? Am I good at what I'm doing? That's something that really connected with them. It was not a matter of, okay, I have this story, I need the audiences to connect to it. I just need your abilities. I made sure that Cain Carillas and Matt Scott, the main puppeteers of the film, and all the other puppeteers that joined us, that they connected with that universal fear, which is not feeling good enough, you know?
You're so clever, just saying, you're so clever. Honestly, I just love the world that you took us in. Like, I felt like I was just in it. It felt like 3D. It was this incredible experience. And I've never seen it with the puppeteers. And I don't know what it was, but it was a really nice sensation to because I was captivated by the puppets. So it's not like it bothered me, but it was a nice touch to have it included as well. What was your decision in doing that though? What made you want to keep the puppeteers kind of in there? Because it was very interesting.
What made me want to keep the puppeteers? I mean, I feel that I fell in love with filmmaking since a very young age, and I was just extremely passionate about the craft behind it, you know? And for me, as a new fan of this medium, which is puppeteering, I I just found it easy for me to feel inspired to be able to see them doing their craft in the film as well. You know, it's a film about talents.
Yeah.
It's a film about doing what you love, and for me it was having the puppeteers doing what they love. What they love gave it another layer. You know?
It really did. I mean, the level of craftsmanship for these puppets was amazing. Like I was like, they were alive. You know, it was incredible. How do you? I mean, tell us a little bit about obviously the people that you worked with, but also how do you explain what you want for them to create? Like, how does that work too?
It was. I had this very incredible moment. People always ask me what's the easiest thing about the filmmaking process, and for me was getting inspired. I met El Triste, which was a marionette that is already a celebrity online. It has a lot of Instagram followers, and it's kind of like it's this Latino puppet that has this very unique personality. In the real life, he's more of a rebel, you know. In the film, he's more of a like downbeat character. But we cast him, and we were like, okay, we need to build a world around him.
Wow.
And that's where I met Matt Scott.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went to him, we read the script, and I said, okay, so I want to start casting this film. You know, I know that you make puppets. I want to make one or other puppet, but I also want to include what you have done. I want to include your craft. And I remember that I said, where can I find them? And then he points at the roof, at the ceiling. And then I look up, and like 50 puppets just hanging there,
goodness.
you know? I felt like in Disneyland. I was so passionate about seeing every individual puppet and starting to understand how, even though I have a very clear script, how it was gonna, the pulling and pushing of what ideas were gonna impact the script, and what, and how the creation of some puppets was gonna be impacted by the script itself. You know? So it was kind of like
it just it works. It just works so well. I'm so curious because I love that you're a filmmaker. You love challenging yourself, multi-genres. Like I love all of that aspect to it. What was like maybe some of the difficult challenges that you had like moving into this? 'Cause I'm sure you're moving into new territory. It's kind of exciting, but there might have been things you're like, oh.
So I'm a big passion. I have a big passion for world building, subtle world building. A great example is El Triste, which is world building, but it's not. Like if you look at it with a bigger scope, it's just like puppeteers moving puppets in a backstage. You know, that's not really world building. But if you dive deep into it, there's a unique world within that very extremely normal world. You know, and I've always been passionate about that. But for this specific piece, I was concerned about the fact that. So I did these storyboards, for example, with Juan Pedro Soto, a great storyboard artist. And it was easy for me to see the story throughout the animatic because we drew expressions on the puppets. But then we go to set and we start realizing that that's not going to be exactly how we saw it in the pre-production process. That's just a misstep that we had. So one of the biggest fears that I had was, okay, we're going in and we have these pieces of plastic and wood that we're supposed to animate, and what is going to do it is the tone, the style, the camera movement, and its relationship with the character's movement. But also, it's about the performance, you know? And how do you try to internalize feelings on a marionette, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, I became extremely close friends with the classic storytelling techniques that you learn in film school. And you're like, okay, I'm going to break them.
Yeah.
But in this specific case, we had a couple of very specific shots that we learned in film school about its meaning that I felt so glad that I've learned them, you know, because the shot progression and everything was extremely important for us to be able to tell this story because the emotions were subtle because we were just looking at unanimated objects, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, you did great. You did great.
Thanks.
I mean, I was just like, I was like, please, I want to see more of these characters in this world you took us into. Like, it's always so special when you're just captivated by something you've never experienced before. So again, love, love, love. How was the experience? Obviously, we love having you part of NewFilmmakers LA. It was extra special because it was in partnership with the Academy. It's extra special because it's a celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month and all Latinx filmmakers. How was that whole experience for you?
beautiful. I had the opportunity to be part of NewFilmmakers LA last year with another film, and coming back, it felt extremely fresh. You know, it felt like there was a huge level of understanding what the necessities for the world right now are, and how filmmakers, who do the filmmakers need to talk to understand how the industry is going to be progressing. So the panels were amazing, you know. I absolutely love the amount of detail that NewFilmmakers LA has about knowing their filmmakers and treating them as an individual, you know. And I absolutely love that. I'm extremely happy to be here, and I made some great friends with the other filmmakers that they're now becoming collaborators. So that's what film festivals are all about.
Yeah,
you know?
And get to meet you in person this time as well. So we're not bad. You came back to us, right? So we're okay.
Yeah,
we're okay.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, welcome to the family again. No, it's all. Listen, I love your artistic vision. You know, I really do. I just want to keep going into the imagination you take us into. But what is next for you, Manuel?
I am exploring new mediums, and I am in the early development of my feature film, which I hope is gonna come out soon. But it's ambitious, and it's a process, you know. I have a couple of shorts in post production, 2 shorts in post production, and I have 1 short as a producer in pre production. So we have more things coming.
Yeah, I don't expect anything less from you. Always give yourself a challenge, which is great.
Thank you so much.
Finally, for all the great filmmakers or people who want to be in your footsteps one day, do you have any advice in your point of your career that you'd like to share with our audience?
Definitely. I feel like I really repeat this a lot, but I really, really mean it. Part of the director's job, like if you want to be a director, for example, which is my case, part of the director's job, and a huge part, is to be on set, to direct actors, and to be able to like find the balance between camera movement, blocking, all of that, you know. But I feel like there's a misconception about calling yourself a director. Many people always say, "Oh, I want to be a director," and once I have this film that it has gone to a lot of places, I'm gonna call myself a director. But we forget the importance of decks. We forget the importance of choosing tone, choosing style, choosing a story, having your ideal casting, having the director's statement, trying to do the blocking, and all of that. You can just do it at home, and you can. From that specific moment that you have started to give direction to a lookbook, to a pitch deck, you're already a director. You're already going in that place, and you're giving story a direction. You know, I cannot emphasize how many great filmmakers I've known that I was there when they made their first short film, and they came in with an incredible pitch deck, with an incredible lookbook, with a clear vision, without no past work, and convince some extremely talented collaborators to join them in their first film, short film. So you don't have to have your first short film or your first music video to call yourself a director. You are a director once you start giving it direction, you know?
I love that.
Execution is beautiful, and I love it, but the most of the magic, I do believe, happens on pre-production.
Yeah.
That's where the ideas start to come to life. And then you're just like a child, seeing how these toys that you bought can play together, and you give it some direction. But you gotta focus on pre-production, because it's
key. That's
key, and that will make you make your first short film. You cannot jump straight into set, you know?
No, I love all your analogies, and this is advice we don't hear very often. It's so important to share that. So just keep making more films, please, and then we'll be happy. Okay, but no, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for bringing these characters to life, and I can't wait to see your next project. Thank you.
I'm excited to be back.